For over 2,000 years, ancient secrets have been locked away, buried in the shadows of forbidden texts and forgotten scrolls. Among them lies the Book of Enoch, a prophetic manuscript once revered and then mysteriously cast aside. What did Enoch see? What truths did he record that powerful institutions didn't want you to know? From the rise of fallen angels to visions of the end times, Enoch's prophecies speak of a hidden cosmic battle and humanity's ultimate fate. Join us as we unveil the forgotten words of a prophet whose message may still echo into our future. The Book of the Watchers, the Fall of the Angels and the Rise of the Nephilim. The Book of the Watchers, a foundational section of the Book of Enoch, is one of the most fascinating and controversial texts in ancient religious literature. It expands on a cryptic passage in Genesis 6 verses 1-4, where sons of God took human wives and produced giants, the Nephilim. But where Genesis gives us 4 enigmatic verses, the Book of the Watchers develops a full narrative, rich in mythology, divine judgment, angelic rebellion, and human corruption. Written likely between the 3rd and 2nd centuries BCE, this text is not included in the Hebrew Bible or most Christian canons, but it profoundly influenced later Jewish mysticism and early Christian theology. It explains the origins of evil not through human sin alone, but through celestial rebellion. The story it tells is both cosmic and tragic: angels who fall from grace, forbidden unions with mortal women, and the birth of monstrous offspring that threaten the very fabric of creation. The descent of the Watchers, forbidden desire. The Book of the Watchers begins with the descent of a group of angels known as the Watchers, so called because they were appointed to watch over humanity. Led by their chief, Semjaza or Shemahaza, these 200 angels descend to Mount Hermon with a dangerous purpose. They are captivated by the beauty of human women and desire to take them as wives. But this act is not just a breach of heavenly law, it's a rebellion against divine order. To bind themselves to this plan, the angels make a mutual oath. Let us all swear an oath, and all bind ourselves by mutual imprecations not to abandon this plan but to do this thing. 1 Enoch 6:4. Their descent marks a cosmic transgression. These beings, once divine, are now fallen, not through pride like Lucifer in later Christian lore, but through lust and rebellion. Their defiance results in the corruption of heaven's boundaries and the violation of creation's intended structure. The birth of the Nephilim, giants of destruction. The union of angels and humans results in the birth of monstrous hybrid beings known as the Nephilim, from the Hebrew root NPL, to fall. The Book of the Watchers describes these beings as giants, mighty and violent, consuming the labor and lives of humankind. They grow so enormous and ravenous that they devour all human food, then turn on humans themselves and even on each other. They devoured all which the labor of men produced, until men could no longer sustain them. Then the giants turned against them in order to devour men. 1 Enoch 7:3-5. This echoes the flood myths of other ancient cultures such as Mesopotamia, where divine human hybrids or corrupted creatures precipitate a cataclysm. The Nephilim are not just physical giants. They represent moral and spiritual monstrosity, born from forbidden knowledge and unholy union. Secrets of heaven taught to men. Beyond physical destruction, the Watchers also corrupt humanity by teaching forbidden knowledge. Each fallen angel introduces a form of knowledge that was previously kept from mortals. Azazel, one of the most notorious Watchers, teaches humanity the art of weapon-making, cosmetics and jewelry, tools of war and vanity. Semjaza and others teach enchantments, astrology, root-cutting, signs and magical arts. What may seem like scientific or cultural advancements are portrayed here as dangerous gifts, given prematurely and outside divine sanction. Humanity is not spiritually mature enough to handle this power responsibly, and it leads to chaos and corruption. This mirrors similar themes in other mythologies, the Promethean fire for instance, but here the consequences are catastrophic. The Watchers become symbols of misused enlightenment, reflecting a tension between sacred mystery and forbidden curiosity. The knowledge they reveal does not elevate humanity, it enslaves and destroys it. Heaven responds, the cry of the earth and the judgment of the angels. The destruction wrought by the Nephilim and the Watchers triggers a cosmic outcry. The blood of the innocent cries out to heaven, and the earth itself groans under the weight of violence and corruption. This cry reaches the Most High, and the archangels, Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel, are dispatched to bring divine judgment. God commands Raphael to bind Azazel and cast him into the desert, under jagged rocks, until the final judgment. Gabriel to incite the Nephilim to destroy each other in a war of mutual annihilation. Michael to capture the remaining Watchers and imprison them in the abyss beneath the earth for 70 generations. Bind them for 70 generations underneath the earth, even to the day of judgment. 1 Enoch 10:12. This heavenly judgment is a cleansing act, much like the later flood narrative in Genesis. The Watchers' punishment is severe and symbolic. They are buried alive beneath the mountains, cut off from heaven, awaiting the day of reckoning. The judgment represents a restoration of order. Heaven reclaims its authority, the natural boundaries are reasserted, and the corruption of earth is halted, though not fully undone. The consequences of the Watchers' rebellion linger in human memory and sin. Enoch, the scribe of heaven. At the center of this story is the figure of Enoch, the great-grandfather of Noah. In Genesis, he is a mysterious figure who walked with God. Then he was no more because God took him. Genesis 5 verse 24. In the Book of the Watchers, Enoch becomes a visionary prophet, scribe of the divine, and mediator between heaven and earth. The Watchers, in desperation, ask Enoch to intercede on their behalf and write a petition to God for their forgiveness. Enoch agrees, but the response is devastating. Their judgment is sealed. There is no forgiveness, no redemption, only condemnation. Enoch also receives visions of heaven, the future, and the final judgment. He is shown the tree of life, the heavenly throne, and the end of days. His role foreshadows later apocalyptic literature, where a human prophet is taken into heaven to reveal divine secrets. Themes and symbolism. Cosmic order versus chaos. The Book of the Watchers operates on multiple symbolic levels. Divine boundaries and transgression. The Watchers' sin is not just lust, it's the violation of divine boundaries. The angels, meant to guard humanity, cross a line meant to separate the divine from the human. The mixing of categories, heaven/earth, angel/human, leads to chaos, a recurring theme in ancient mythologies. Knowledge as power and corruption. Forbidden knowledge is another key theme. Unlike biblical wisdom, which leads to righteousness, the knowledge from the Watchers corrupts. This reflects an ancient tension between divine revelation and unauthorized enlightenment. Theodicy and the origin of evil. By attributing human sin and suffering to the actions of rebellious angels, the text offers a cosmic theodicy, an explanation of why evil exists. It's not just humans who failed, celestial beings also rebelled, and their influence continues. Cosmic justice. The Watchers are judged, the Nephilim destroyed, and humanity given another chance. Divine justice is portrayed as slow but inevitable. Even powerful angels are not above the law. Legacy and influence. Though the Book of the Watchers was excluded from the Hebrew Bible, its influence is profound. Second Temple Judaism. Jewish apocalyptic texts like Jubilees, 2 Enoch, and Testament of the 12 Patriarchs echo its themes. Christianity. New Testament writers were clearly familiar with this tradition. Jude 1 verse 6 and 2 Peter 2 verse 4 reference the fallen angels, kept in darkness, bound with everlasting chains. Demonology. The association of Azazel with desert demons, Leviticus 16, and later Christian demonology owes much to this narrative. Literature and pop culture. From Milton's Paradise Lost to modern films and novels, the myth of fallen angels and Nephilim continues to captivate imaginations. A myth that haunts theology. The Book of the Watchers presents a bold and haunting alternative to traditional narratives about sin and divine justice. By attributing the root of evil to angelic rebellion and forbidden unions, it offers a mythic cosmology that reshapes the story of humanity's fall. It is not just a tale of lustful angels and violent giants. It is a meditation on the fragility of divine order, the danger of unauthorized knowledge, and the inevitability of judgment. Though considered apocryphal by many traditions, Its voice echoes through Jewish mysticism, Christian eschatology, and even contemporary thought. In an age hungry for hidden truths and cosmic origins, the story of the Watchers and the Nephilim continues to raise powerful questions. What happens when those who guard the sacred become its violators? Can knowledge corrupt as easily as it enlightens? And is the origin of evil found within us, or does it come from beyond? The Book of the Watchers offers no simple answers, but in its ancient myths, it dares to explore the cosmic complexity of good, evil, and the fall of the divine. The Book of Parables, or Similitudes, Messianic Prophecy, and the Son of Man. The Book of Parables, also known as the Similitudes of Enoch, forms a major section of the Book of Enoch, 1 Enoch chapters 37 to 71. This ancient Jewish apocalyptic text, dating from the late Second Temple period, circa 1st century BCE to 1st century CE, presents a complex and visionary series of allegories, dreams, and revelations. Among its most striking contributions to Jewish and Christian theology is the development of the mysterious figure known as the Son of Man. This messianic title, richly described in these parables, plays a pivotal role in bridging Jewish apocalypticism with early Christian Christology. This essay explores the origin, content, theological significance, and controversies surrounding the Book of Parables, focusing particularly on its portrayal of the Son of Man. Through an analysis of its themes, literary structure, and historical influence, we uncover how this ancient vision helped shape the messianic expectations that would later emerge in Christianity, many identifying this figure as a precursor to Jesus. 1. Context and composition of the Book of Parables. The Book of Parables is the second major section in 1 Enoch, following the Book of the Watchers. Unlike other parts of Enoch, the parables were not found among the Dead Sea Scrolls at Qumran, leading some scholars to suggest a later date, possibly between 30 BCE and 70 CE. Others, however, believe its absence at Qumran is due to ideological differences rather than chronology. The parables are composed of three main parables, or similitudes. First parable, chapters 38 to 44, introduces the final judgment and righteousness. Second parable, chapters 45 to 57, elaborates the role of the elect one, also called the Son of Man. Third parable, chapters 58 to 69, explores the eschatological judgment, resurrection of the righteous, and fall of evil rulers and angels. The Book of Parables concludes in chapter 71, where Enoch is identified with the Son of Man, though this last identification remains highly debated. 2. The Son of Man figure, origins and identity. The title Son of Man, Ben Adam in Hebrew, Bar Inasha in Aramaic, first appears in Hebrew scripture, most notably in the book of Daniel, 7:13-14. I saw in the night visions, and behold, with the clouds of heaven there came one like a son of man. In Daniel, this figure is portrayed as a heavenly being granted everlasting dominion, contrasting with the beastly kingdoms of the earth. The Book of Parables picks up this imagery and dramatically expands on it. In the parables, the Son of Man is pre-existent, he existed before creation. Hidden and revealed, hidden with God until the appointed time. Judge of the world, he judges both earthly rulers and fallen angels. Savior of the righteous, he brings justice and salvation to the elect. Light to the nations, his authority is global, universal, and eternal. This visionary being is also referred to as the Elect One, Righteous One, and Messiah, titles imbued with deep theological meaning. These multifaceted names point toward a divinely appointed agent who stands at the center of God's final plan. 3. The three parables, themes and analysis. First parable, chapters 38 to 44. The first parable begins with a grand vision of the final judgment. The righteous will dwell in eternal light, while sinners and tyrants face darkness and shame. Cosmic signs such as the trembling of mountains, melting of seas, and collapse of heavenly luminaries highlight the scale of the divine intervention. Angels serve as watchers and recorders, documenting the deeds of humanity. There is a clear division between the righteous elect and the wicked, each assigned their fate in the coming judgment. Here, the focus is not yet on the Son of Man, but on the certainty and justice of divine judgment. Second parable, chapters 45 to 57. The second parable introduces and develops the messianic figure in depth. The Son of Man appears as a heavenly being seated on a throne of glory. He is the light to the Gentiles, and a staff for the righteous. He judges kings, mighty ones, and apostate angels, likely referring to the Watchers. The narrative emphasizes his authority, justice, and mercy. He is chosen and revealed in the presence of the Ancient of Days, a clear echo of Daniel 7. In chapter 48, for example, the Son of Man is described as one whose name was named before the Lord of Spirits, before the sun and stars were created. This profound statement of pre-existence strongly parallels later Christian conceptions of Christ. The Son of Man becomes the eschatological judge who restores creation, vindicates the righteous, and punishes the wicked, especially those who deny God's truth or exploit the poor and oppressed. Third parable, chapters 58 to 69. The third parable deepens the apocalyptic vision. The righteous dead are raised, and the elect shine like luminaries. Angels of punishment such as Phanuel are introduced, reflecting the cosmic war between divine forces and rebellious beings. The fall of demonic powers and corrupt human rulers is foretold. The mysterious Head of Days and the Son of Man are portrayed in eternal unity, signifying shared divine authority. Chapters 62 and 63 are especially important. Kings and rulers tremble in the presence of the Son of Man, recognizing their doom. They regret their choices, but it is too late. Meanwhile, the righteous rejoice and inherit the earth. The parables end with a vision of final harmony. A renewed creation, purified of sin and oppression, governed by divine justice through the agency of the Son of Man. For Enoch's identity and the Son of Man controversy. Chapter 71 concludes the Book of Parables with a controversial claim. Enoch himself is declared to be the Son of Man. This identification is puzzling because throughout the earlier chapters, the Son of Man is presented as a distinct and pre-existent heavenly being, not a mortal man. There are three main scholarly interpretations of this passage. Later redaction. Some believe this final chapter was added later to tie Enoch more directly into the narrative. Symbolic identification. Others suggest Enoch is being honored as a symbolic representative or earthly counterpart of the heavenly Son of Man. Original vision. A minority view argues that the author always intended for Enoch to be the Son of Man, combining prophetic and messianic roles in a single figure. Whatever the case, this identity statement adds complexity to our understanding and opens the door to later Christian reinterpretations. 5. Influence on Christian thought and the New Testament. The Book of Parables had a profound, though indirect, influence on early Christianity. While not included in the Hebrew Bible or widely accepted in Rabbinic Judaism, it was influential in Christian circles, especially in shaping messianic expectations. Parallels with Jesus in the Gospels. Jesus frequently refers to himself as the Son of Man, a phrase appearing over 80 times in the Gospels. The Son of Man in Enoch judges, comes with clouds, is pre-existent, and executes divine authority, all themes echoed in the New Testament. Matthew 25 and Revelation 1, for instance, mirror the apocalyptic imagery found in Enoch. Many scholars believe that early Christians, particularly in the Jesus movement, interpreted Enoch's Son of Man as a foreshadowing of Christ. Though the Gospel writers never cite one Enoch directly, the conceptual overlap is strong. Early Church Fathers and one Enoch. Church Fathers like Tertullian and Irenaeus treated one Enoch as scripture. The Ethiopian Orthodox Church continues to regard it as canonical. Its messianic vision contributed to the developing idea of Jesus not only as a suffering servant, but also as a cosmic judge and eternal ruler. 6. Theological significance. The Book of Parables presents a highly developed messianic theology for its time. It blends apocalyptic themes, heavenly journeys, angelology, and eschatology into a powerful vision of justice and hope. Key theological contributions include messianic hope, the idea that a divinely chosen figure would bring ultimate justice. Pre-existence of the Messiah, a concept that shaped later Christian views of Christ as the Logos. Universal judgment. A shift from nationalistic expectations to global salvation and punishment. Dualism and cosmic conflict. A worldview where good and evil battle on both earthly and celestial planes. Importantly, the parables offer one of the earliest Jewish articulations of a personal, pre-existent messianic figure, well before this notion became central in Christianity. The Book of Parables stands as a profound and mysterious text within the wider corpus of Second Temple Jewish literature. Its richly imagined world of angels, judgment, and cosmic renewal finds its climax in the awe-inspiring figure of the Son of Man. Whether viewed as a symbolic heavenly agent or a direct foreshadowing of Jesus, this messianic figure reshaped the religious imagination of generations to come. Though not universally accepted as canonical, the parables left an enduring legacy. They bridged Jewish apocalyptic thought with early Christian theology and laid the groundwork for the New Testament's vision of a cosmic Redeemer. In the mysterious Son of Man, readers across centuries have found both judgment and hope, fear and salvation, a figure destined to bring justice to the world. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the hidden prophecies of Enoch. What do you believe? Were these visions merely myth or divine truths lost to time? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. If this video opened your eyes, make sure to like, subscribe, and share. It helps us uncover even more ancient mysteries together. Don't forget to check out our playlist on the Watchers, the Nephilim, and other forbidden scriptures. Until next time, keep questioning what you think you know, because history might not be as settled as we're told.